Raise your hand if you want to have more beautiful relationship. And raise your hand again if you not only want to have more beautiful relationship, but actually a loving, lasting, and thriving relationship with your ideal romantic partner. And in fact, say I'd out loud to claim it to the universe. But where are you now? Maybe deep inside, you're not feeling worthy of a loving relationship. And the consequences come with that. You say yes for what is convenient. You play small to fit in. And even when you meet a great guy, you could feel like an imposter and you're not good enough for him. Perhaps you're yearning for love and connection, and yet you're afraid of being abandoned, being left, being rejected. So you push that person away before they can even do that to you. And at the end of the day, you still end up being by yourself. Potentially, you spend a lot of time in building your career. You have your life in order. And now you look forward to that missing piece. But deep inside, you could feel like you're too old to find your love. The good one is already being taken. So you settle in unfulfilled relationship. Or even worse, go back to your ex and you know that is a dead end road. Potentially, you move from relationship to relationship. And it could feel like you are on Tinder. You swipe left, right, hopelessly. But does that really solve the real problem? No, it led to more depression, disappointment, and desperation. So where do you want to be instead? Imagine that you look at the mirror and fall in love with that woman. Now you can recognize you are an amazing human being. You can see the diamond within you, and the way you see yourself will influence the way other people see you. Picture a time when you have a massive certainty about who you are. Now you feel comfortable in your own skin. You can speak up your mind and stand up for what's truly important to you. Now you're no longer willing to settle for less than what you deserve. Visualize that you already have a loving, inspiring relationship. Two of you inspire each other to be the best version of yourself. You share similar values and look forward to the same direction. Can you imagine an amazing woman that you can become in that relationship? Envision that you have an unshakable faith within yourself, that you have a loving relationship. Now you can trust the process. You can surrender to the universe because you know deep inside that the right person gonna show up at the right time and in the right place for you. So this is where you are and this is where you want to be. How are you going to get there? I believe the way to get there is by nurturing the most loving relationship with yourself. What do I mean by loving the most loving relationship with yourself? Think about this way. We can only love others to the degree that we love ourselves. Raise your hand if you agree. So the more you experience on how does a beautiful relationship look like internally, the more you would have a clarity, confidence, and capability to co-create a loving relationship with another human being. So why it is important to nurture the most loving relationship with yourself? A study from Harvard University showed that people who practice self-love would have a higher self-esteem and self-confidence that reduce a level of anxiety, depressions, and stress level. And all of that have a positive impact toward our emotional, mental, and physical health. And overall increasing the feelings of happiness, gratitude, and satisfaction in our life. And secondly, women who have a high self-esteem and self-love know how to communicate effectively in their romantic relationship. Often they know how to select their partner. They're better at selecting their partner, expressing their needs, setting boundaries, and know how to handle conflicts, disagreement with respect. And all of that going to increase their ability to attract, form, and foster a healthy, loving relationship. Third, when you have the most loving relationship with yourself, especially when you face adversity and challenges, it's going to help you to build emotional resilience because you understand life has happened for you. And that enables you to access the lessons and learning very quickly and bounce back quickly from those setbacks and adversity. And you can understand that those experiences are guiding you toward what meant for you. And finally, according to Louis Hay, a well-known American motivational speaker, that the most important and lasting relationship is a relationship you have with yourself. Other relationships come and go for different reasons, but you are with you 24/7. That's why it's so important to enjoy your own company. Become your cheerleader, your best friend, your lover. So that whatever life offers, whatever life happened to you, now you always got your back. But why now is the time to nurture the most loving relationship with yourself? There is an epidemic of loneliness and isolation in our current society. Research shows that half of Americans are experiencing loneliness. And while in the UK, a quarter of adults are feeling lonely. Why is that? It's because one of the key factors because of the social disconnection. And that increasing the risk of anxiety, depression, mental well-being, mental health issues, and including illnesses like strokes and heart disease. And many more people are committed to suicide nowadays. So when we have a loving and healthy relationship with ourselves, not only will we be able to source the happiness from within, but also open the door for us to connect, appreciate, and accept other people for who they are. And those are one of the key elements to build human connections and to establish meaningful relationships. Secondly, why it is important, now is the time to nurture the most loving relationship with yourself. A research from Pew Research Center showed that nearly half of adult Americans admit it is harder to date nowadays than it was 10 years ago. Dating nowadays is harder than it was 10 years ago. Because we are, and if you are available, chances are you are on dating apps. Because the way we're dating nowadays is different the way we're dating in the past. And as we have an abundance of choice on those dating apps, it's become harder, more difficult, and time-consuming for people to meet their right partner. And women who are experiencing the risk of emotional, physical harassments because people take advantage from those dating apps. That is why it's so important for you to have a loving, healthy relationship with yourself so that you'll be able to discern and select and set boundaries and yet use your emotional intelligence to navigate through the complexity of the relationship in the modern world. Third, we are experiencing global self-love crisis. A research launched in 2021 by The Body Shop showed that 1 in 2 women in the world are feeling more self-doubt than self-love. That is an approximately a quarter of the world population. Can you just pause for the seconds and imagine the ripple effect from those women toward themselves, their family, their society, and generations yet to come? So, if a woman doesn't have a strong sense of self-love and she is seeking for external validation to validate her self-love, her self-worth, her value, and integrity, very soon she's gonna hit unrealistic expectation and comparison. Those are harmful to her mental wealth and well-being. So that's why we all can contribute our part to the world by taking positive actions toward our self-love. And finally, we are not getting any younger. We get older very quickly. So if you want to have a meaningful, loving family, perhaps you want to have children, when are you going to make that change? Are you going to wait for another year, 2 years, or 5 years? Time going to pass you by and costing you the opportunities. My brother once told me, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. And the second best time to plant a tree is today. Make the right choice for you so that when you lie down on that deathbed, you'll not regret for the decision that you choose today.